I'm beginning to think that I am never going to get to that red chair. I don't even want to think about beyond the red chair. That's my aim, is to get to the red chair. So I'll show you why I'm saying that. This is where I've been working. This is good. I'm right up to here. And over here, I'm up to here. So I got all of this to go. And all of this to go. Oh, yeah. I prefer to look this way. This looks much nicer. Not counting the grass, of course, but. So, maybe I can get this part right here done. Believe it or not, there's only 2 plants here. There's one there, and there's 3 little ones there, which are suffering terribly. But I will see what I can do. But this is looking nice. I had to move some stuff here. This mango pine is really taken over, which is fine. I just think it's so pretty, and I hope it just keeps taking over. I have brought a few things from the secret garden that I'm taking down. I'm not going to do the secret garden. It's too much. I brought this here, which is Unlock the Stars daylily. Just planted it now. I've had it soaking in water. And that daylily, which I'm not sure which one that is. It might be my little red one. I'm not sure. And there's Cheyenne Spirit Echinacea. I put it over here because it was tucked up right here. And the mango pine is just taken over. So I moved it over here to the other, close to the other Echinacea, which is so beautiful. These are such beautiful flowers. And the bees love them. So I got to give this a little bit of a water. Oh, and those beautiful orange lilies that I had. I've got them sprinkled around the property. Well, the red lily beetle is here now. It's the first time I've ever seen it here. We had it in Winnipeg really bad, and it just decimated all my Asiatics, my trumpets, all those kind of lilies. The only ones it doesn't kill off is the daylilies. However, the daylilies host the eggs, so but it doesn't kill them. So this lily here, it was just, I found them on there, so I chopped it down, and I'm going to show you. They're doing the same thing with this one. See? They just kill it. So I'm going to chop this one down too. It's the same thing. They're all finished anyway. But, gee, not nice. This little Autumn Joy is coming along really nice. It's got such pretty colors. I think some of the leaves from this might be good for echo printing. The colors are just gorgeous. I love this. I almost lost this last year. But isn't it nice? It's got such a nice contrast of colors. There's the really orange, and then it turns sort of a burnt orange, a little bit of green. Oh, so pretty. Okay, so yeah, can I reach the red chair? Well, time will tell. That's my goal. Well, I made it past the chair. But look at how bad everything is. I've never seen a yard look so bad. And it's just not my yard, it's everybody's yard. So I've cleaned all this up. This here is not straw. This is wood chips. There's a little bit of straw mixed with it, but it's mostly wood chips, so that's why I've left it. Wherever I had straw, I'm removing the straw because it actually produced more quack than I've ever had in my life. As you can see here, that's all from the straw, and it's everywhere because I spread the straw everywhere. So I've gotten this far, and I tell you, it's a real struggle to keep these plants going. They are really suffering terribly, and I just noticed my little tree here, it just really, that's the same tree as that one over there. They planted exactly the same time, and look at the difference in them. So I have a water thing that you put on a machine, you know, but it's a smaller one, and we always get the big ones. I don't know how many gallons are those. We bought this small one at a grocery store because we were desperate for water. Anyway, I'm going to turn it into a deep watering thing. I'm going to cut the top off, and I'm going to make a cone and stick it down, and I'm going to put it in there upside down, fill it with water, and let that water soak in around that tree. And actually, I think if I can get that made, I think I might move it around to all my trees, because these little shrubs and trees are really suffering terribly. I mean, everything is. I've had to cut back my daisy already. I don't usually do that until September, but the flowers are finished. As you can see there, look they're all done. So I'm going to cut that one back too. And I'm going to show you something really alarming. This is a true indication of drought. This is from my tomatoes. I trimmed them all up, and I'll show you. I got a little friend living in my bed here, but until I do. So sunflowers, these are supposed to be giant sunflowers. Look at them, and they're dying. These ones have gotten a little higher, but still, by now these should be 8, 9, 10 feet tall. Whoop, hi Robin. And I do water here, but sparingly, because this is not food. I've been watering my food more than anything. So I want to show you Joe. He's still there. Joe has been living in this bed here for, I don't know, ever since spring. And this is the only bed where the leaf damage from insects is minimal. And I think it's because of Joe. I'm going to show you Joe. He's just taking a rest right now. There he is. Hi, Joe. Thanks for doing such a good job. My beans are starting to climb up, which is nice. And I have cucumbers that are also climbing up, which is nice. And I have a couple of little tiny cucumbers coming on, which is very nice. Okay. And these two are patty pan squash. Sorry about the noise. And there's nothing on them. Other years by now I've been eating them, but I don't know, they're just not really, there's some buds down there, but they're not really opening up. Calendula. This area I water. Here is my nice big blue pumpkin. Come on, bees, but I haven't seen a bee around here in a while. Got lots of blossoms, but no pumpkins. No pumpkins. I do have some tomatoes. They're very small. Look at the grass. So pitiful. The beans, well, they have flowers, but I haven't found any beans yet. Oh, yes, there are some beans. Wow, look at that. We're going to have some beans for supper tonight. Look at that. Okay. Oh, good, good. Now I'm feeling better when I start to see beans. I love these. These are golden wax beans, my favorite kind. Yeah, okay, so that makes me happy. Swiss chard we've been eating. Look at my carrots. Have you ever seen any pathetic carrots like that? Ugh, I haven't even thinned them out because they've barely come through the ground. Tomatoes, I really gave them a good prune. We'll have some, but not a lot. This bed we've been eating out of, thanks to Joe, a lot. I have kale, lettuce, which doesn't want to quit bolting on me. Kale, lettuce. There's some carrots coming that look better than the ones in the other bed. So we might have the odd carrot. But we've been eating this lettuce and kale and Swiss chard like every day. It's been so good. Got some weeding to do here. My sweet peas are not doing really all that great, but they are. A few of them are okay. I brought a morning glory over here, and all of a sudden it's climbing. And I also brought one of these over here. This is oh, don't go there. Just a minute. I get it. It's a clematis. I brought it from the other side because I'm taking down anything that I have planted in the secret garden is coming out. Secret garden. If we're going to continue to have drought years like this, I have to limit my gardens because I'm not going to be able to water. So the secret garden is gone. So I still have this bit over here to do, but I've done pretty well with this, I think. And this is not the same day, obviously, as when I started this. This is a whole week later because all we've had is electrical storms, no rain. We get the storm, we get the wind and the lightning, but we don't get the rain. And even today, there's clouds. We're supposed to get rain, but we won't. Every storm splits. Half of it goes south, half of it goes north, and we get nothing. This has been going on since May. And we have had no rain. And I'm not exaggerating that or making it to be something, for pity or anything like that. We have had no rain. Okay, well, my pity party's over. I'm going to go make a vessel for that little tree and see if I can get deep watering. That's a good idea. I knew I saved that thing for a reason. I could actually do, move it around from place to place and actually give some of these really sad looking plants a boost. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I thought I would just turn the video on while I'm doing this part of my wall hanging. So I have attached, I'm just going to bump you, there you go. I'm down to 3 panels now. Each panel has 8 blocks and they're all attached. And if you can see here how different this looks, I've attached here here, 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 this big strip here, and right over here. And my last thing to do on these 3 blocks of 12 blocks each, or 8 blocks each, is I'm just top stitching where I've attached, so that it's going to, I've done this one here, all along here. I'm just going to do this on all of them, because right now this is standing out like this, but once I top stitch it, it'll disappear and you won't know to look at it where I've attached it. Like, you really can't see over here where I've attached this, because I've stitched it now and it fits in. Before, it sort of stood up like this did. So that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm just doing this bit of top stitching on here all the way down across wherever I've added a piece and put them together. I'm doing that. And then all I have to do is put the 3 big panels together, which is just 2 more of these actually, but we're going to be going the long way. Now, this process of putting these pieces together has taken me a lot of time. It's been very boring, to be honest with you, this part, putting this in, but you have to flip it over and then you have to do another stitch to bring this together. So this is where I would have attached along here, and so I've done a stitch, a ladder stitch, just to bring this together, just so to give it more stability. So not only did I have to hand sew this joining piece on, I had to go at the back and I had to close it up as after I had it all attached. So it's taken a long time to get this far. And now that I'm doing the top stitching again, I'm happy, because I love this. I totally love the stitching part. I didn't like the sewing together part. And I have to admit, there was a few times that I thought maybe I should just take it to the sewing machine and do it, but I stuck with it. I've done it all by hand. I can hold my head up proudly and say the whole thing has been done with these 2 fingers, or these 2 hands. So yeah, so right now I'm just going to finish doing all the top stitch. I have all of this to do, all these joined pieces I have to top stitch all the way down, and I have to do that for all 3 panels. And then it'll just be 2 more strips to put the panels together, and then it'll be done. I am not going to finish the outside. I'm going to leave it raw, because I actually kind of like the look of the raw on the outside. I will take some of this stuff, like right here I have a white stitch line. I'll take that out, because this is actually going to be on the outside. But the rest of it, I'm just going to leave it. I think it's going to look nice just raw. You can't really tell anyway, because it is, the whole thing is raw, you know. I mean, there's a lot of rough edges here, and it just all sort of blends together. I have a lot of little strings to get rid of too, but that'll be at the end. So I thought I would just show you what I've been doing now and how far I've got. I was sitting here while I was stitching and thinking, what am I going to do next? I don't think I'm going to do another big project, because I seem to do one big project a year now. And this will have been my big project for this year. I need to return to do some knitting, and I started a crochet project, which I'll show you in a bit. And yeah, okay, I'm going to get stitching. So here are the 3 panels of 8 squares each. And this is the way they're going to be put together now. All I have to do is put these 2 together with that strip, and then these 2 together with that strip, and I am done. I'm thinking I might iron it before I do this last bit. I think it needs to be ironed. It's very wonky, and some of it stretched a little bit, so I think I'm going to iron it before I do this last bit. But yeah, it's almost finished. I can see it on the wall already. It's gonna be great. And the joins have been beautiful, the way that I've joined it. I'm going to show you the back. There's my back. Millions and millions of stitches. If I had a penny for every stitch, I'd be a rich person. Okay, so I'm going to take it up, give it an iron, and do the last 2 joins. And then I have to figure out how I'm going to hang it on the wall. I have some ideas, but I need to see the width first, because I have a couple of ideas of how I want to hang it, but I need to know how wide it's going to be, because it's hanging this way. It's going to be like this on the wall. Originally, I was going to have it like this, but this is the way it's going to be on the wall. Okay, to be continued. Of all the things that I have made for myself over the years, the reading shawl is the one that I have used the most. I made this 2 years ago, and I can honestly say without a doubt, I wear it almost every day at some point in my day. In the winter time, if I'm sitting in my chair here knitting or stitching or whatever I'm doing, it's wrapped around my shoulders. And even in the summertime, I've been using it because we have air conditioning and it gets pretty cold in here. Or to me, it feels cold. Especially since I broke my shoulder last year, I find that my neck and my shoulder need something around it. It aches. And if I put my shawl around my shoulders and sort of around my neck, it sort of takes some of that ache away. So I use it every day. But it's made of worsted. It's very thick and very heavy, which is fine. But I decided that I should have another one. Enter this big basket of leftover sock yarn. I have been piling this up, wondering what am I going to do with it. I could make some, more socks, make scrappy socks, but I don't really want to do that. I know everybody's socks that I have made here from this, and I have some more besides this. So I decided, instead of doing a worsted weight reading shawl, I am going to do one made out of this sock yarn. So here's how far I've got. I'm using a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook, and that's what I've done so far. And I love it. It's going to be kind of wild, very boho, and I think it's going to be lovely, actually. So I've only used a few balls, and I'm just going to work with what I've got in this basket. I'm going to put all of that in this and see how far I get. I don't know if I will get a full-size one out of that, but like I say, I do have more. So this is all sock weight, sock yarn, fingering weight sock yarn, I should say. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this turns out, but I'm loving it so far. So at some point, I'm going to have another shawl. Now, I have 2 rocker recliners. I have the one that's down here in our living room, and then I have one up in my studio. So I probably will keep this one down here and take the other one upstairs, the other shawl, because in the wintertime, I keep it quite cool upstairs, and I like it that way. So it doesn't matter where they go. And the other thing is, these shawls are large enough that oftentimes if I lay on the couch, I can actually cover myself with the shawl if I lay it this way, top to bottom, instead of this way. And so I'm going to make this exceptionally large so I can wrap it around myself, or I can actually even cover myself with it like I do the other one. So I'm having fun, and this all happened because I was going through my old computer that is no longer on the internet, but I've had that computer for a long, long time, and it has thousands of patterns on it, and it also has subscription magazines on there. So there's, I don't know how many years of crochet magazine, and I was going through there and I got the itch to crochet. So I am down in my utility room in the basement, and I have done some echo printing, rust dyeing, tea dyeing stuff a couple of days ago, and I'm going to unwrap it and we're going to have a look and see if I have any success or not. So I'm going to put you up on the tripod and we're going to see how this all turned out. The lighting is really bad in here. I apologize, but I can't do this anywhere else because it's very mucky business. Oh, this looks good. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. So in here, I have 2 rolls that I did, and then I rolled them in another piece of fabric. And this is tea and rust. Oh boy. Where's the beginning of it? Oh, look at here. This is an old bread pan that it's in, and there was a lot of rust in the bottom, and I just left it. I didn't take it out. So I'm just going to take one of the rolls out. Now this one, I think I rolled it on an old rusty what do you call those things? Wrench, I think it is. I'm going to save this string too because it's beautiful. I hope you can see. I can't bump you any down further right now because my hands are dirty now. But I think you can. I really apologize for the lighting. This isn't ideal. I wanted to do this outside. However, the man in the house across the back from us coughs continuously, and he's outside all day, all evening, and he doesn't just cough, he horks. You know, like, ah. And I've tried recording out there, and it's just not gonna happen. So there, the string is off. I'm going to keep that string. And let's see. There are, the flowers that I used were mostly hollyhocks and a lot of different greenery from the garden. I even put a tomato thing in here. I'm going to just put this down here. There we go. So wow, this is really dark. There's one piece of metal and another little piece of metal. We're getting into some leaves here. Oh, here's a latch. Now this was, what was this? This was a hollyhock. Doesn't need very much color, but really you're not going to see a lot of the color until we wash it all out. Some more leaves here. This is an old, all this stuff on the back here. This is an old pair of pajamas of mine. Here's another hollyhock. And a tea bag, which I'm going to keep this tea bag. I'm going to dry it out and use the paper for some paper collage that I have in mind to do. Now this is, I think, a piece of the hedge. Another tea bag. This was a piece of my little red bush. You can see it's still quite red here. And this was a calendula, not a a calendula. Ooh, that made a bit of a thing. Get some of this off of here. This was a big, oh, this was hollyhock leaf, a great big one. Really big one. And another little flower. It's made some interesting marks. And here's the wrench. Stop. And another tea bag. So there might be some flowers. There was a few little flowers. There's a nice purple part here. Okay, so that's going in the thing to be washed. Now there's another one here. With string. This one I just wrapped it around a wooden dowel type thing. It was from an old wind chime that broke, and I just kept the dowels to use for, well, I never imagined I would be using it for this, but apparently I did. This is really dark, and I think it's because of the rust that was at the bottom of the tray. I wanted to see if it would pick it up, and it did. And all of this has just been soaking in tea. Now, these two pieces, I did pre-soak them in some vinegar before I wrapped them and dyed them. So it was a bit of an experiment to see if the vinegar actually does take things up a lot more than just soaking it in water. Now there's a piece of metal. Lots of flowers in this one. What is this? Oh, that's a leaf from, that's actually quite pretty. I should dry that. A leaf from, I can't remember the name. A little sunflower. Actually, it wasn't a sunflower, it's a daisy. Some more leaves. Nail. Oh, I like this. This is going to be nice. Now, this piece of fabric, my dear friend Sharon, when her father was moving out of his home, she gave me a box of knitting needles and patterns and all kinds of stuff like that. And in that box was this little, I think it would have been like a table cover or a doily type of thing. And it was stamped to embroider, but, oh, there's a bunch of flowers in here. Ooh. It was stamped for embroidery, and somebody had actually done a tiny little bit of embroidery on it. And I never thought that I would, it's been sitting in a drawer for a long, long time. That's from a carrot top. And I decided the other day that maybe if I tea-dyed it, I would actually use it. So I decided to dye it. And this, I think, is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I will use this piece now in memory of her mom. And I will treasure it. This is gorgeous. Now, this is going to lighten up a lot when I wash it. I know that. But even so, the colors are beautiful. I think this is the best I've ever done yet. So, look at this. Can you see the colors in this? Probably, here's where some embroidery was done. Oh, I can't wait to wash this. So it's a table runner, I think. But yeah, that's going to be really nice. So that one's done. Okay, there's one more piece of fabric in here that was just wrapped around those rolls. It was just a piece of cotton, and it's very dark because it was laying right on the bottom of the tray here, so it really picked up. But it's going to be nice. I wished I would have had some of this for my there's a tea bag I want to keep. Wished I would have had some of this for my wonky log cabin. Okay, I'm just going to put this aside. Now I have another tray. This is my first echo printing of the season. I haven't done any up until now, and you're out of shot now. So what am I going to do here? This is quite a big tray. I'm going to be taking, I just laid some grass on there, which I don't care about. So I put these, this also is from a wind chime. I'm hoping that they will rust, but they did leave a mark, so that's good. Now here's a little piece. I'm just going to set this one aside. This is another wrapped one, but this one I did not soak in vinegar first. I don't believe I did anyway. I think that tray had the vinegar soaked ones, and these ones were just tea dyed with rust and some flowers. No vinegar. This is all just an experiment with me because I'm just learning this. I've never done this. Last year was the first year that I did this, and I enjoyed it so much. And this year my flowers are minimal because of the drought, and so I'm not having the choice of flowers and things that I did before, but I'll work with what I've got. This is very pretty. There's another piece of, so that left that nice S there. This is a hollyhock and a beautiful pink one. This was a printed piece of cotton. This had some flowers and things on it already, and I love how this turned out. I really do. Now this has a flower and another tea bag. Yeah, this is pretty. I do like this. I like this a lot. So that's going to be washed. Now these are just laid flat, but they have rust in them and they have flowers in them. So they really took the rust. And I wish I should have written down exactly what I did. I'm really bad about that. I didn't this time, but hopefully next time I will remember to do that, because I would like to change it up. Oh, this was a nice big piece of rust. Lots of flowers in here. A little piece of rust. Little circle. Looks like that took some little pieces of rust. Of course, you don't really see the full effect until you wash this and dry it. There's a whole bunch of flowers inside of this. I even put a leaf from a tomato plant. Why not? Lots of rust in here, lots of tea bags, flowers, tea bags. That is really pretty. I like that. I don't have a lot of flowers this year, so this might be my only chance to do this, because I've actually been cutting a lot of my flowers down because they're not blooming, and I'm trying to save the root because I've actually lost some of my perennials already, and a lot of them are parts of collections that I've even brought from Winnipeg when we moved here, so it's kind of heartbreaking in a way. But there's nothing we can do about the weather. Oh boy. This is a lot of tea in here. A big piece of rust with a leaf on top. Can't see that doing anything. I love these tea bags. Those are awesome. I feel like there's something in there. Nope. Where I had something that wasn't totally rusty yet, I put a tea bag over top of it just to kind of see if it would help it rust a little bit. I don't know if it worked or not, but now what's in here? Oh, there's lace on this too. This is a part of an old pillowcase. There's lace, hand crocheted lace, which is now, there's the tomato plant, which is now quite dark. Some more flowers. I'm not opening this up properly, am I? More flowers, more leaves. Someday I'm going to have a lot of really nice fabric, because I've got an old sheet on the bottom of this, and I have it just to catch anything that might fall, but it's already got a lot of beautiful colors to it. All right. This is really quite dark. But like I say, I have to wash it. So I am going to take these and rinse them up. Oh, there's another little piece of cloth. I'm going to take these and rinse them and wash them and hang them up, and I will show you what they look like when I get that all done.